Hey there, welcome to the channel. Just got a new fish finder today from Lowrance. This is the HDS Live 12 model. It's a 12-inch screen. It's a touch screen fish finder. This particular one came with the transducer bundle, the 3-in-1 transducer, which is a great side scan transducer. I'm going to show you everything that comes in the box here real quick and just go over some basic features and what the unit's good for. It's a very popular unit. A lot of boats, fishing boats in particular, run the HDS Live system. They're great units. They're reliable. This is the third year I'll be running them, and I've been really happy to this point. They're great units for managing waypoints. I have large waypoint files, some in the thousands, 2,000-3,000 waypoints on a particular body of water. So they're great for that. The real upgrade with these units from previous HDS generations, the carbons, the Gen 1, 2, 3, is the speed. These lives, they're a lot faster. Just everything just works better. The screens move smoother. It's just, it's the best yet. They've really done a good job improving generation to generation. So it's a great unit. And it's a good reason to upgrade just for the speed. I was a little resistant to upgrade. I had Gen 2s for a while because I was happy with them. And I went to the lives, and I wish I would have done it sooner. So to get started here, let's take a look at the head unit. The head unit comes with a sun cover, which I'll pop off here. Now this is one upgrade they made, or change rather, from my model last year, is the sun cover last year did not have these little pads on here. And I did have some rubbing on the screen from the sun cover. So these pads, they've obviously fixed some known issues. So that's good to see. The rubbing wasn't bad. I could wipe it off, but still, it's nice to see the improvement. So a sun cover is always good for traveling and when you store your units. So there's that. Now let's get to the head unit itself. This is a great big screen here. This is the 12-inch model. You've got a built-in GPS receiver here. You can use an external puck. I do. I use a 0.1 externally. Just for the positioning. I want the GPS receiver right where my transducers are, so when I hit the waypoint button, the waypoint is saved right where my transducer is marking whatever I'm saving. So these internal GPSs, they work great. You can upgrade to a 0.1 or other similar puck antenna, but they do work great. They lock on good. These things fly. They're very fast units. They handle a lot of waypoints. They handle a lot of different screens. Everything runs smoothly. The processors in these are great. They're worth the upgrade just for the speed alone. They just work that much better and smoother. One cool thing I'd like to mention real quick is these programmable buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can set what these buttons do. It's cool to have. They're shortcut buttons basically. What I like to do is I have all my screens that I frequently use. One set to 1, 2, and 3. So I'll have my side scan screen, my down scan screen, my GPS screen, and all I have to do is hit one of those buttons to get to that screen quickly. The one thing I don't like about this, coming from a Gen 2 touch, is the zoom in and zoom out. You've got all these buttons. They've added all these buttons to the touch units. They did it a couple generations ago. I really liked having the zoom in and zoom out isolated on the top right corner, because when I'm running in rough water, I brace my hand on that top corner and I like to zoom in and zoom out. I find myself hitting other buttons sometimes. So that's one negative to this button layout. I don't use these buttons often, if ever. That's the only situation where I'd use the buttons. The touchscreen functionality is great. Rain, warm, cold, whatever it is, don't worry about the touchscreen if you're worried about it. It works great in any condition. It's great for saving waypoints, naming them, weed bed, whatever you're going to say, rock pile. It's really helped me remember a lot of things that I'm marking on the water. So it's a nice screen. The reflective surface is nice. You don't really have to put it at a perfect angle to see it. It's pretty good for that. Some of the previous generations weren't the greatest with that, so it's an improvement. Now let's get to the back. One thing that's different about the Lives from the previous version is there is an HDMI input. You can, I run video adapter from my phone, and I view Google Maps on here, and anything you can display on your phone with an adapter you can run through this HDMI port, and there's just a video screen in the menu, so it's really simple to use. Then you have your NEMA network port, and then your two Ethernet ports. Having two is great because you can use different features. Like I have the Sirius satellite radio antenna for the Lowrance for weather, and that comes in through the yellow Ethernet. So I have two, and I have one for the Ethernet to the other unit and one for the satellite antenna. Then you have this red here is your power cord input, and then your standard transducer and your side scan transducer. So they have changed these from previous generations from I believe a 7-pin to a 9-pin. If you're using an older style transducer with the blue connector, you will need to get a 9-pin adapter, a 7 to 9. It's just a little adapter. I think it costs like 20 bucks. I'm using that for my through-haul skimmer transducer to get it into this unit. That's pretty much it here on the head unit. They do have your memory card slots are here, and they are the micro SDs. Some of the earlier models had the full-size SD card. These are the micro SDs, so keep that in mind. So there's the head unit. It will come with a gimbal bracket. It's a nice solid gimbal bracket. They've actually, this is a redesign, I believe, from the first generation of lives. This is the third year I believe the lives are out, but this one's a lot sturdier. It doesn't have as much play in that angle they put on the end. So the newer ones are have a lot less flex in them. You've got your power cord. The power cord is same old Lowrance power cord there always has been. One thing I want to mention real quick is this red connector. The blue connectors do work. You just have to make sure. I had an old one in my old boat that I used my first year with lives. They work fine. They're the same connector. They just changed the color a couple years ago. So it is the same connector that's always been in Lowrance, but just make sure before you use any of these Lowrance power cables that you have the correct fuse for the unit that you're using. Here's the accessory bag. It comes with the fuse holder that I was just mentioning, caps for all your back connections that aren't in use. So if you're only using one of the Ethernet ports, you can cover it up with one of these yellow caps. You can cover up the HDMI port when not in use. It comes with a few knobs and a black cap here if you're not using the NEMA 2000 network port. And it comes with a couple of mounting screws. The next item we have here, it does include a template, a mounting template, and a little foam perimeter pad for if you were going to do an in-dash mount and flush mount it. So you'd cut out following this template, and then you'd place this around the edge to install with screws. The next little item here is the instruction booklets. There's a welcome aboard packet, a quick start guide, and your instruction manual. No one really uses it anymore since they watch videos like this, so they're there when you need them. I believe you can find them in the unit itself, a lot of the instructions. So you don't really need to keep these on the boat anymore, but they still come with them. You got a few stickers here. Cool stickers. I don't use them myself, but I guess if you want them, they're in there. And then the Lowrance 3-in-1 transducer. They've had their side scan transducers for a while. This particular one is the 3-in-1. This one has great images. It's a significant upgrade from the LSS2 or the LSS1. It runs directly to the back of the live units. There is no need for a black box with the live units. You see it has this black connector here. And this side scan on this, if mounted correctly, produces some awesome image. Great detail. I can see fish on beds. I can see the details of the logs, the details of the rocks. It's really an upgrade from the previous Lowrance side scan transducers. I definitely recommend it. I believe this is the same transducer as the 2-in-1. This one I believe just has the extra functionality of chirp, which bass fishermen don't use quite frequently. So the 2-in-1 or the 3-in-1 should work the same, but the bundles do come with the 3-in-1. So this is a great transducer. I can't recommend it enough. It's improved my fishing greatly having that level of detail on the boat. There is a mounting bracket that comes with the transducer, and as I mentioned previously, that transducer works great, and it works even better when you mount it correctly. This will work for the mounting. I go another step above and beyond. I use the transducer shield and saver and some aluminum stock, and I get that transducer a little bit lower in the water, below the jack plate. I'll go over that in a future video, show you how that works and how it sets up and some of the images I get with it. So subscribe to the channel and keep a lookout for that. Then you just have your little bag of bolts and zip ties and screws and washers. That is just to mount the pre-drilled holes on the 3-in-1 transducer. So you've got everything you need here. There's a lot of cool accessories with these units that you can use. This is just the basic stuff that comes with them to start. Again, this is the Lowrance HDS Live 12, and this is the bundle with the 3-in-1 transducer. I'll be doing some more videos. I'll show you how I set it up on the boat, how I run the power supply, how I run the network, and then I'll get into the unit itself, how I set up the screens, my side scan settings, my sonar settings, my headings, and all my other neat little tricks I've learned over the years run these Lowrances. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for those future videos. I'll be putting them up in the next couple of weeks as I get the boat together. But there's a lot of things these units are capable of that can really help you catch a lot of fish. And I definitely recommend these Lowrance Live units for reliability, and their sonar, their DownScan, I didn't mention that yet. Their DownScan, in addition to their side scan that runs through the 3-in-1 transducer, is phenomenal, especially for marking targets like boulders and things like that. So it's just a lot of these brands these days, they're all good at a lot of different stuff, but this Lowrance really shines with waypoint management, traditional sonar, the side scan, and the down scan. So I run 2 of these in the boat. They're my core units. I do all my waypoint management through them. So they're very reliable, and I've learned to count on them a lot over the years. So check them out and be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the water. Thanks.